Vaibhava, the Vaibhava, this is the main word there, that Radharani has this majesty which is coming from, which is Parama Adbhuta, that it is supremely amazing, and that is in the dust of her lotus feet, which is incomprehensible to even Lord Brahma and to Lord Shiva and to Narada and Sanaka and Sanatana, and even if you go to the other, in the next verse we'll have Bhishma and Shukadev, and he's just about anybody. Everybody is out. Only Radha is in. Even the Sakhis, they can't understand Radharani completely. So, but he's saying that because Arthat, so the meaning of this, that her eyes are always moist with the rasa of pure Shringara rasa, raining down this mercy that has the quality of raining rasa. Paramad Bhuta Vaibhavapi. So even though Radharani has this quality of Aishwarya, this supremely amazing Paramad Bhuta Aishwarya, so to the Pranata Janeshu, to the people who are pranata, to the people who are surrendered to her, to those who are who have dasyas mood, those who are serving Radharani as her dasis. She is kripa shila. She has a feeling of mercy towards them. Atak Shri Vrishabhanu Nandini Mahimne Namaha. So therefore we pay our obeisances, we bow down, we glorify, we bow down to that. In the Chaitanya, actually from Krishnadas Kaviraj also there's a very important verse which he quotes also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the Vibhurapi Sukha. This word is the Vaibhava, the word Vaibhava. So I'm thinking about the word Vaibhava. Maybe after I go through this book entirely I will understand. But anyway, Krishnadas Kaviraj says in the Govinda Linamrita, and it's quoted in the 8th chapter there in Ramananda Sangha. It says, Vibhurapi Sukharupo Swaprakashopi Bhava Kshanamapi Nahi Radha Krishnayor Yarite Swa Pravahati Rasa Pushtim Chidvibhutir Ivesha Srayati Napadamasam Kaksakinam Rasagya. It's a very important verse. In the Govinda Lilamrita there's not much Siddhanta. But this is if there are any Siddhanta verses, this is one Siddhanta verse. So Vibhu, the word Vibhu is what Vaibhava. The word Vaibhava comes from Vibhu. And in the verse also we have Vibhuti, which also comes from the word Vibhu. So Vibhuti and Vaibhava actually mean the same thing. And I says Vibhurapi Sukharupo Swaprakashopi Bhava. So here the word Vibhu, he says that Swaprakashopi Bhava, the Bhava, Vibhurapi Sukharupa Swaprakashopi Bhava, Kshanamapi Nahi Radha Krishna Yor Yarite Swa. So that even though the mood, Radha and Krishna's mood, Radha Krishna Yor Bhava, is Vibhu, even though the love between Radha and Krishna is supremely divine, all-pervading. The word Vibhu is the quality of the Supreme Person, the Parama Purusha. So Vibhu, in this verse, what is very interesting though, is that he says Vibhu, that the Bhava is Vibhu. He doesn't say in this verse, he's not saying that Krishna, Ishvara, or anything like that is Vibhu. He's saying that the Bhava is Vibhu. So in a sense, he's saying that the supreme truth is the Bhava itself. Vibhurapi Sukharupo Swaprakashopi Bhava Kshanamapi Nahi Radha Krishna Yo Yarite Swah. So, but even so, Radha and Krishna are never without, for a moment, Kshanamapi, never without a moment, without the Sakhis. Why? Because just like the Ishvara, Prabhati Rasa Pushtim Chit Vibhutir Ivesha. So just like the Supreme Person cannot be fully manifest without his Chit Vibhuti, without his potencies, So similarly, this vibhu of bhava will not attain rasa. It's a complicated verse, very deep verse. Okay? So I'm trying to explain this verse. Basically, it's saying the last line is the line that is the payoff line that everybody understands. Srayati na padamasam kaksakinam rasagya. If you are a rasagya, if you know anything about rasa at all, you'll take shelter of the gopis, you'll take shelter of the sakis, you'll take shelter of Radharani's sakis, you'll take shelter of the manjaris, because you know that without them, the rasa does not get fully manifested. It doesn't, rasa pushtim, it will not be there. So, we talk about Radha and Krishna, but like when you have a different, for us, the form of God is neither Krishna nor Radha. The form of God is really Radha and Krishna together. Because only when you have bhava and rasa together do you have the full form of God. But even then, he's saying that even then it's not complete. You still need the sakis. You still need the sakis in order to make that bhava complete, to make the rasa complete. So, it's just like, so in this case, he's saying that just like God as a single, Isha, he has his potencies. So, in Sringara Rasa, Radha and Krishna together are the deity, are the supreme deity, and the sakis are their energies, are their potencies. Okay, so usually we talk about Krishna being the divinity, and Radha being his energy or being his potency. But now he's taken it a little one step further. And he says, now we have Radha and Krishna. We're not just taking Krishna, we're not just taking Radha, but we're taking the two together. And we don't separate them and say that Krishna is the potent and Radha is the potency. We could say that, that's all right, there's nothing wrong with that. But he's saying we take one step further. And we say that Radha and Krishna are the deity, and the potencies are the sakis. Right? So now, in that particular situation, the rasa pushti, the attainment of the fullness of rasa can only happen when the sakis and manjaris are present. Right? So, Krishna is merciful and Radha is merciful. Radha and Krishna together are merciful. But they have each has their independent role. And now what Prabodhananda or what Harivangsha here is saying, he's saying that Radha is the one who is raining down the mercy on everyone. But in this rasa, the goal is to become one with the energies of that rasa. In other words, we don't say Krishna separately or Radha separately, but we want to see the divine couple together. And we become the energies that fulfill that rasa, that serve that rasa, that increase that rasa. That is the position of the sakis and manjaris. So when Radharani's merciful glance falls on the sakis and manjaris, the pranata janeshu, then the rasa becomes complete. Then the rasa becomes complete. Because otherwise what we're trying, one of the things we've been discussing is about this idea of mercy. And what is the relationship of mercy when we say that Radha and Krishna are totally absorbed in their lila. So Radha and Krishna are totally absorbed in our lila, and we're conditioned souls, and we're here, we're as conditioned souls, what are we doing? We're trying to, we're struggling with the mind, we're struggling with the senses, we're struggling with the gunas, we're struggling with the anarthas, we're struggling with the different obstacles to devotional life. We're stuck in this bodily concept of life. So we're praying for liberation. We're praying to become free of this our conditioned life and our material problems. We want to go and be with Radha and Krishna. 90% of it, or half of it at least, is not pure devotion, but it's help, get me out of this mess. So when you're in this help, get me out of this mess stage, is that what is meant when Radharani's kripa is there? Is this the kripa that we're talking about? Well, normally we think, yes, that's when we're talking about kripa, we're talking about that. But we were discussing this yesterday in class, I think, or one the other day in class. We were talking about how Krishna has unlimited forms. And according to your state of consciousness, a particular form responds to you. So yes, Krishna is merciful, God is merciful, and if you pray to God for whatever it is that you're praying for, you get a particular concept of God. You can't help it. It's just like you have to go to the right department. If you want to get your license, car license, you go to the car license department. If you want liberation from material miseries, you go to the department of God that is dealing with that problem. But the department of God that deals with rasa, that is the department of God that is in Goloka Vrindavan, it is in Vrindavan Dham, it's in the Kunja, and it's where Radha and Krishna are in Nitya union, are constantly engaged in their loving pastimes. In their, So but if like Narottam Das says, that Narottam Das envisions how Lokanath will take him and give him to Rupa Manjari. And then Rupa Manjari will take him by the hand and say to Radhani, Paira me Navadasi. I found this new dasi here. And Radha said, and so Radha gives her merciful glance. And at that moment, from the merciful glance, then the rain of Shringara, the purest Shringara rasa, the Sarvartha Sara rasa, that this thing will then be achieved. Then that will be experienced at that point. So we say, Sri Vrishabhanu Nan Bhuvo Mahimne Namaha. We bow down. This is the glory of Radharani. This is the glory of Radharani. Yesterday, one of the previous classes, we were saying that Radharani's Madhurya is her Aishwarya. And her Aishwarya is her Madhurya. You can't, that is the glory, the supreme divinity is that God does not have to do anything. That's the supreme glory of God. Everybody here in the material world is obviously thinking that God is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the world, and we think of God in those, glorious terms. But the insight of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Tattva is that this is not really where Krishna's heart lies. This is not really where God's heart lies. That's not where his attention is being given. His real glory is in the love. His real glory is in the supreme manifestation, the all-absorbing supreme manifestation of love that is his pastime with Radha. Kavahama bhujavoshe jugala priti. When will we understand that? Jugal priti. When will we understand that love? When will we understand that? When will we become absorbed in it? When will we be participating in it? When will we actually be not just understanding, but we will be engaged with the Sakhis, like Narottam Das Thakur is saying. Sadhane bhabi be jaha, siddha dehe paibe taha, pakwa matra e bicha. So only a question, that's what you immerse yourself in that lila. You immerse yourself in that consciousness. And then it's just a question of whether it is pakka or not pakka. It's a question of whether it is ripe or not ripe. It's still true. It's not that it's not that when it's not ripe, it's not, you have an apple that's not ripe, it's still an apple. So prem, even when it's not ripe, it's still prem. When you're engaged in sadhana bhakti and you're meditating on the pastime of Radha and Krishna and you're actually becoming one with the pastime of Radha and Krishna, even if it is incomplete and temporary and mixed with anarthas, it is still the real thing. It is still prem. It is still the hladni sar, samvitsar, samaveta bhav. It is still the Chidvastu. It is still the transcendental potency and the Hladni Shakti potency that is present in that mood. And then pakva pakva matra vicha. It's just a question of from sadhana you go to siddhi, and siddhi just means that it's attained its pure or fructified state. So vibhura pisuka rupo swaprakasho pibhava. Radha and Krishna's love. You may say, why do Radha and Krishna? And this is in some concepts, this is there. That Radha and Krishna, what do they care for anything? And they're just totally absorbed in one another. So we say that God is only God if their Shaktis are there. Right? God is only God if the Shaktis are present. So if you see Radha and Krishna as that they're full within themselves, well, according to our Siddhanta, that's not complete. The Siddhanta is that Radha and Krishna are only complete when they are completed by the presence of the Sakhis and Manjaris. So that you have the four tattvas. So when I say my prayer at the beginning of class, Jayati Jayati Radha Prema Sara Iragadha. So really this is what this Kripartha Sarvartha Sara Rasa Varshi. And Krishna, so that's Radharani is the unfathomable ocean of the essence of rasa. And Krishna is the one who is always thirsty to taste. Tadrasa swada trishti. He's always thirsty to taste that rasa that Radharani is the ocean of. And then the Sakhis, then we say Jayati Jayati Vrindam Tatsakinam Dvayakyam. So that the Sakhis, within whom that divine couple is residing. And Jayati Jayati Vrinda Kananam Tatsvadhama. And finally you have Vrindavan, which is the environment in which all of this takes place. So it's not complete without the Sakhis, so you take shelter of the Sakhis. You don't take shelter, we take shelter of the Sakhis, and through the Sakhis we become, by Sakhis we mean both Sakhis and Manjaris. Huh? It means all the five kinds of Sakhis.
Yeah.
Including
5 kinds, yeah?
Yes, Prana Preshta, Priya Sakhi, Nitya Sakhi, and Priya Sakhi, what is it? Prana Preshta Sakhi, Priya Narma Sakhi. So many kinds of Sakhi. Jai Sri Radhe. Okay, we'll finish up this commentary for the verse. So, Dhanyo Yamma Mahima. So now he's concluding, so now he's getting worked up. Dhanyo Yam Mahima. How glorious is this fame or this reputation that Radha has. Dhanyo Yam Mahima Yad Evam Api Jananan Evam Kripa Jaladena Rasamayi Karoti. So glorious, how wonderful is Radha's glory, that those who know about this, why is that important? The important thing is that you have to know, one of the things that I'm repeating in this class, and I see that I'm repeating it, so important, is that in this bhakti, in Raganuga bhakti, the point is that you get what you are looking for. And so the form of the desire is the most important thing. The form of, when we talk about Ishta Devata and all these things that we're talking about, you clarify the concept, what it is that you want, and you clarify you clarify in all the details. So our acharyas, when we say Shrayati Padamasam Kaksakinam Rasagya, if you know anything about rasa, you take shelter of Rupa Goswami, you take shelter of Raghunath Das Goswami, you take shelter of all the Rasika saints. And when you take shelter of them, through them, you understand the details. You start to understand how it works. You start to understand what is the pure Sringara Rasa, what is this pure Sringara Rasa that is raining from Radha's eyes. It's raining through them. That's what we use the word pranali, siddha pranali, pravaha. it's like a river that's flowing down. So the Radha is the source of the river, and that river flows down through the parampara, through the disciplic succession of Sakhis, through the disciplic succession of those who are immersed in that rasa pravaha, in that who have, the raining down of that rasa has formed a flowing river, a torrent of river. This river, and you get washed up in that river and you end up in the ocean of rasa. It's like one of the examples even that Ramananda Rai gives. You have the ocean of rasa, Radha and Krishna, and then the cloud forms from the ocean, it evaporates, and you can say that there it comes into Radha's eyes or comes into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes, and it rains down and forms a river which flows back to the ocean. But as it flows back to the ocean, it irrigates the land, it irrigates all the land in between, and and the devotees flourish. The devotees flourish, and then they get in, they jump in the river and swim into the ocean and become like fish in the ocean. Half making up that, but that example is given. I think the Vishwanath Chakravarti and Madhurya Kadambini gives something like that, because Madhurya Kadambini is what it is.
This is first verse of 8th chapter of Madhya Lila. Exactly, yeah.
Something
exactly,
like
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's because Ramananda Rai says that Ramananda Rai is taking the rasa from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then giving it back to the ocean. But still, it's like it's a similar idea. So those who know. So you have to know properly. When we say Sambandha Tattva, why are we talking about Sambandha Tattva? We're saying Sambandha Tattva so you get to this point and that you know properly what is the Sambandha. And if you take the Sambandha in its purest form, this is the point. You take Sambandha in its purest form. All the other forms of Sambandha, whether it's Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, or whatever the different forms are, they are all expansions or reductions from pure Shringara Rasa. Pure Shringara Rasa is the whole, and everything else is the part. Everything else is an Angsha. The Angshi is Shringara Rasa. The Angshi is Radha and Krishna together. Not Krishna alone, not Radha alone, but Krishna and Radha together. And the mood of prem that is there is the source for all the other forms of God, all the other forms of Godhead, all the other forms of, all the other leelas, everything else is a partial form of that. The love that is in Radha and Krishna, everything else is a partial form.
Yeah.
So you know that. Evam jananan. Evam kripa jaladena. So then Radha is says that rasamayi karoti. So that being like a cloud, like being the cloud of prem, the cloud of rasa. Rasa, Radharani makes them rasamoy. Makes the rasamayi karoti. It makes you full of rasa. And the rasa rains down and it comes into you. It comes into the pranata janeshu, into those who are surrendered, in the proper knowledge, in the proper mood, in the proper bhav, in the proper sthai bhav. Those people will get the rain of Radharani's mercy, and that will take their heart, which is like a desert, dry, full of desire for material sense gratification and liberation. And just a drop of that will turn this desert into a luscious paradise like the Vrindavan of our dreams, and filled with beautiful desire trees and Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhi rabhipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purushattam. And that's what our hearts will turn into. Our hearts that are now like deserts will turn into that. So, kritvacha. So once Radharani has made your heart into the form of the luscious paradise Vrindavan, through the raining down of rasa, kritvacha swanijanandam prapayishyati, then she will give you, she will grant you her own ananda. Beautiful, this is a beautiful ending to this verse. Kim ashcharya. She will give her own ecstasy. This is the essence. So the other day someone was asking about, like the achintya bheda bhed, the singular or the dual, right? So we say in Bhagavatam that this is Advaya Tattva. Advaya Tattva. That Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. He said, Vadanti Tattva Vidas Tattvam Yajnanam Advayam. So the Advayam verse is there. So we're talking about Advaya Tattva. So our Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta is Advaya Tattva. Even if it's called Achintya Bheda Bhed. This Achintya Bheda Bhed means that it has to be Achintya, because how can the Advaya have multiplicity, have form, have lila, and all this other thing in transcendence? This is the problem. So Advaya Tattva here, this is the key to the concept of Advaya Tattva. That you become one with Radha. At the same time as being Radha's Dasi, Radharani Sakhi, it gives you the quality, the sense, or such a strong sense of identity with Radha that her Ananda is your Ananda.
Yeah.
Tat Sukhe Sukhi, this is not just figurative. This is not just a figurative thing that we're saying that when I make Radharani happy that she's happy and so I feel happy, something like that. It's that her full Ananda, right? Swanijanandam. So he doubles the word Swanija, both two words meaning the same thing. Why Swanijanandam? Why not just Swanandam or Nijanandam? Because they're saying that her own, very own, the innermost experience of her love, she shares that with her. Not just sharing. It's not just a question of sharing. It's not like that she takes it and she gives it. He said the Sakhis are right there. Shraya, it's just like this. Pibati yadi mukundam tatsakina. Oh no. And there's a verse that if Krishna kisses Radha, then all the gopis, they start to show ecstatic symptoms. And Krishna embraces Radha, and then everybody has tears in their eyes. So the thing. So he's saying that it doesn't make sense. It's a virodha bhasa alankara. They make them. The comment is there in the text in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a virod. It's a contradictory. It's a paradox. So these are all these paradoxes. Wherever you see the word paradox, in Christianity they talk about mystery, right? In Catholicism you hear the word mystery a lot. So the mystery, the different mysteries that are there in Christianity. So these are mystery. This is when we say achintya, we also mean something like that, something like mystery. This is our mystery. That achintya bheda bhed means that it's a mystery. It's something that we can't really explain properly. And so what is this mystery? This mystery is the complete oneness of the Leela, the complete identity of the Leela. This entire Leela is made out of bhava and rasa. It's nothing else but bhava and rasa. And so because bhava and rasa, it's made of, in other words, it's prem. The Leela, Krishna's world, Radha and Krishna's world, the world of the gopis, Vrindavan Dham, is the world of prem. Nothing but prem. It's made out of prem. If you scratch it, it's prem. Just like we can reduce this world here, the material world, we reduce it to, to whatever, quarks or atoms or, whatever it is that they found now as being the basic element of the material world. So, the scientists are going down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to find what the material